I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. It is 4 o'clock. Marlene, can I have a roll call?
Chairman Benjamin Peña.
Here.
Vice Chairman Gerardo Gonzalez.
Here.
Treasurer Frank Orozco Jr. Secretary Ana O'Quinn.
Here.
Board Member Dr. Joe Hinojosa.
Here.
Board Member Antonio Bernuz.
Here.
For the record, Treasurer Frank Orozco is absent. Next item.
We do have a quorum.
Next item, public comment period. There were no comments registered, Chairman. Next item, consideration and action, if any, on the following items. 1.1, approval of the minutes of the February 19, 2026 regular board meeting. 1.2, ratification of payments issued in February of 2026.
Unless somebody has an item to pull out of the consent agenda, can I have a motion to approve items 1.1 and 1.2?
Motion to approve.
There a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Next item, staff report, marketing and communication, business recruitment, and executive report. Marketing and communications by Marcela Sáenz.
Good afternoon, Chairman and Board. Let me start with the global engagement and investment efforts. So we are currently in the process of developing a new brand video for the Greater Brownsville EDC. And this video will give us an opportunity to introduce our new branding. And at the same time, we'll use it for business recruitment as well. It'll be created in 3 different formats. We have a 90-second, 60-second, and 30-second, so that we can decide, which one to send when we are asked to submit a video for a specific event, or for a website, or for social media as well. And one more update regarding our website is we are working on the back end of a platform that we're going to be launching very soon. That includes GIS data. And so if you're a site selector or a company, you'll be able to go to our website, see our industrial park, what lots are available, and at the same time, you'll get information about demographics and projections as well. I included a screenshot in here of compound annual growth rate from 2025 to 2030, and it gives projections regarding population growth, labor force, etc. Here are a few screenshots of content that either we produced or reposted from the events that we attended, or updates that, we wanted to share through our social media networks. And I think a good example is we've been documenting the process of building our industrial park. I don't know if you've seen the videos, but we have 2 of the concrete being poured, and it just, to showcase the work that's being done every day. And last but not least, public relations. Here are a few editorials and articles. Most of the articles are from press releases that we sent, from a few rankings that we found. Brownsville's doing great, and it's been highlighted as one of the regions with biggest growth, and basically just with a good business climate. And it's stories that we want to, continue sharing also for business development efforts.
Questions from the board?
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sáenz. Next item, business recruitment by Jerry Briones.
Good evening, everyone. So we started out the week, I guess, on a workforce event that was held in Lower Rio Grande Valley in Weslaco. Gilberto was a panelist there. We also attended a COSTEP and Index Nacional delegation where Gilberto also served as a panelist. We did get some, I won't say leads, but we did have some nice contacts that we made along the way. I attended a meeting in Houston regarding Project Chiquita. We're still working very closely with that project, and we should see some things coming to fruition soon. Also had a different meeting in Houston along with Project Signature. That is a new project we're working on. We do have an NDA, and we are, I guess, looking at different avenues for that project. We should have some more by the end of the week, if not by next week. I attended the IEDC Leadership Summit in Washington, D.C. early part of last week. From there, I actually went to Atlanta to meet with the Port of Brownsville as well as with the governor's office doing a pitch for Project Vector. It is a different project vector than what you'll hear later. It actually went very well. We're competing against Houston, Corpus, Virginia, and possibly California. And then we had a recent meeting with a company called World Class. It is a real estate and mortgage company looking at doing affordable housing in the Brownsville area. Overall, there were some other meetings, of course, but these are pretty much the highlights. I think I have one more. Okay, good. Any questions? Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Briones. Next item, executive report by Gilberto Salinas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. As Jerry mentioned, we're in the middle of working some major projects. We've been having a steady stream of visits from prospective companies and investors. But before I get into some of the project activity, I do want to touch a little bit on the legislative side. 2 weeks ago, we hosted Senator Carol Alvarado. This was during Charro Days, so she got to partake on some of our festivities. But more importantly, got to learn about the Greater Brownsville EDC. We're able to present some of our different projects, the prospect activity, the economic impact that these projects are having, and then how we're going to be needing her help moving forward here in the future. She was very receptive to everything happening here, but more importantly, she was impressed. I know some of y'all were there. We're speaking about our economic development activity. She is considered one of the veterans on the Texas Senate and is also a member of the Economic Development Committee for the Senate as well. At the end of the month, along those lines, we are hosting the Speaker of the House, Mr. Dustin Burrows. He's on the Republican side. He's very pro-business, pro-economic development. So we'll let the board know about the visit. We are hosting the event there in our office in the courtyard, specifically for our local leadership, but really for him to come in and again, see firsthand the activity that we have, learn about our projects, and especially our top project right now that's requiring a lot of help on the state side. And then also keep in mind that a couple of months ago, we did host State Comptroller Kelly Hancock. He has already been helping us with moving the needle as far as our top prospect, which is Project Hercules. And then last week, Ruben Obel and myself, we were at the governor's mansion where they hosted a press conference announcing that Texas had won the Governor's Cup for the 14th straight year in a row. This cup is awarded by Site Selection Magazine. It goes to the top performing state in regards to jobs, overall business, and investment. We were one of the communities that were invited to this press conference where the governor did say, you know, Texas doesn't become #1 without the efforts of each individual EDC. And we had submitted some of our projects to help support that endeavor. So along those lines, it's not a coincidence that we've been meeting with consistently with high-level individuals, government officials at the state. With that, allow me to introduce Mr. Ruben Obel, who is to my left. He's our new government affairs director. He brings a wealth of experience. He's been a chief of staff for 2 senators, 1 state rep. Prior to working here, he was at the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, also doing government affairs. Here with us at the Greater Brownsville EDC, he's going to be helping us increase the visibility of the EDC with senators, state reps, governor's office, and agency heads. But more importantly, helping us in developing a plan of action for space, defense, and AI, which is something we've been talking about internally, which is now really the future of this particular region. And keep in mind that this is very intertwined with the state and federal policy. So please help me welcome Ruben Obel. That's where we get a little applause. And so in closing, the chairman, he reached out to the Hidalgo County judge a couple of months ago. in helping. We met with them to help us bring together all of the Upper Valley EDCs. And this was to start the conversation about regionalism. Now more than ever, it's crucial in developing that pipeline of talent, because in talking to the SpaceXs of the world, the LNG plants, not one but two of them, and then with Project Hercules, they hire local. I mean, 70 to 80% of their hires are local, but their definition of local is from Brownsville to McAllen. For me, local is everything south of 511, but we differ in that definition. So in meeting with the other EDCs, there was about 12 or 13 that were there. We discussed opportunities in workforce, housing, suppliers, and vendors, all of which are going to be pulled from about a 100-mile radius. So as you all know, with Project Hercules, working with both the Port of Brownsville and Cameron County, it's in the category of a transformational and generational project. Much like we did 10 years ago, we're doing the same thing today, meeting with all the different EDCs to pull everybody together to figure out how to best accommodate this project. So I'll close with this, that we think the company is close to making a decision. We're hopeful here in the next month or 2 months that if they do make the decision, it'll be here in Brownsville, Texas. That concludes my report. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Questions from the board? Thank you, Gilbert.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Salinas. Next item, discussion, consideration, and acknowledgement of the Greater Brownsville EDC financials presented by Salvador Villalpando.
Good afternoon, Chairman and board members. Today we'll be going over the financials through February of 2026, which is 5 months into this fiscal year. Total net position is 37.3 million, which consists of 38 million in assets with 221,000 in cash, 19.7 in investments. We currently are not reflecting any receivables as of today. The Texas Comptroller posts the sales tax information every second Wednesday of each month, which will be tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll find out the sales tax collections for January, and then that information will be reflected in the February 2026 financials. And then lastly, we have 18.1 million in capital assets. Then we also have 747,000 in liabilities. On here, we have the budget to actuals comparison through the first 5 months with revenues at 2.6 million. We have 2.2 million in sales tax, and again, that's pending sales tax collections for January and February. 390,000 in interest, 1,250 in sponsorships, and $248 in miscellaneous revenues. And then we also have 10.3 million in expenditures with 1.85 in operating, 340,000 in contractual commitments, and then lastly, 8 million in initiatives, with most of that coming from activity at the tech district, from professional services, as well as construction. And then no update here. I just wanted to highlight again through the first quarter, 2.3 million in sales tax collections, which is a 4.2% increase. And that translates currently to about 8.2 million in collections for the full fiscal year. That concludes the update for the financials today.
Any questions from the board? Now I have a motion to accept the financial report.
So motioned.
Now a second.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Salvador.
Thank you, Mr. Villalpando. Next item, discussion, consideration, and possible action on presentation of the Brownsville Public Utility Board 2026 through 2030 Strategic Business Plan by Ms. Marilyn Gilbert, General Manager and Chief Executive Officer of the Brownsville Public Utility Board.
Yeah, hello, I'm not Marilyn. My name is Gerardo Martinez. I'm currently the chair for the Brownsville Public Utilities Board. Just wanted to introduce myself. I think some of you I've met with and had different discussions, but I wanted to reemphasize that I'm available to all of you if for any questions or any feedback that you may have. I'd like to introduce, obviously, Marilyn, as she'll be presenting a little bit more about our strategic business plan. For us, was very significant, and I'll highlight one thing, which is that in this strategic business plan, we made it open to the community, different than past years. So we're doing our best to engage with all the key players. We understand that we need to work with everyone and make sure that we're always in sync. That way we can take full advantage of any opportunities that come to our region. So I'll let her go through the rest of the presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and welcome.
Mr. Chairman, members of the Greater Brownsville Economic Development, actually Greater Brownsville Economic Development Council, recent name change. It's exciting times for everybody and all the different changes that we're seeing here in our community. With me, I also want to introduce, I have a couple of members of our staff, and with that is some of you work very closely with Ms. Jenica Russell, our Business Development Administrator. We have also Danny Manis, our Key Account Manager. Constanza Miner, with her leadership, oversees our Key Accounts Department, and she's our Chief Administrative Officer. And as you just met, our Chairman of our Board, Gerardo Martinez. And I have had the pleasure of meeting with some of you, but some of you I have not. And I'm Marilyn Gilbert, the General Manager and CEO for the Brownsville Public Utilities Board. I'm not going to make a long drawn presentation. We have a lot of information, but we wanted to come and take a few moments, maybe this 5-minute presentation, 10 minutes at the most, to give you about what we've been doing here at the Brownsville Public Utilities Board. Within your chairs, you should have a copy of the plan, and it is publicly facing. And so there's a lot more details to this. And behind this plan, there's about another set of documents and 300 more pages that is behind on all the initiatives that we are there. I also want to say Mrs. O'Quinn served at the Brownsville Public Utilities Board, so she's seen previous plans. And how is this different than from some of the other plans is something that, we'll be glad to talk and engage on that. So with that, I wanted to talk about our engagement process. We hired Scott Maiden, a consultant, and they helped us really be a facilitator. They're a global entity that facilitates in and also helps us compile all of the various different plans within your utility. This was a 19-week engagement that we started in March of 2025 when the RFP was issued. And then from there, we made sure that we knew where we were at. So we had a full SWOT analysis throughout the business organization, and we assessed our various the strengths, the weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, that we are facing in this challenging environment. And of course, very exciting environment because we have super growth that are embarking. And how do we show that we're doing what we're doing when we say we're going to do it? So with that, we had our strategy development and we had the plan formation, and we have also our implementation guidelines. And we're also going to be reporting to the community. So our board approved the plan and the contract was signed in June. The project was kicked off in July. And then we had several community meetings, and then we continue with this ongoing communication. With that, I want to thank all of you for participation. Some of you had individual meetings with our consultant. We wanted to make sure that there was independence. We didn't want to be the ones there. We wanted for an open and candid discussion, so where we needed to be. So our external partners, not only did it include you all, it included the City of Brownsville leadership, it included the Cameron County, it included the Port of Brownsville, it included the BCIC, it included the PubCap. Those are our members. And we had a lot of public-facing meetings also with our PubCap. PubCap is the Public Utilities Board Consumer Advisory Panel that consists of our various different customer segments that we use as a standing board for the community. And our internal stakeholders, of course, were also involved at all different levels. They were involved from the board of directors down to the executive leadership team, the directors from the various different parts of the organization, department managers, and our employees across the divisions. We wanted for that to be heard. This isn't the only thing that is publicly facing. It is a conglomeration of about 11 different other plans. And those 11 other different plans include plans that we recently completed and updated. So even though this is a 5-year roadmap, it is also including of other plans that are more larger horizon. So we completed our integrated resource plan. And our integrated resource plan is that resources for our planning for the electrical generation. What do we have available and what do we need to meet our load growth, our native load, our future growth? And it wasn't just a 5-year horizon. It includes our assets that we currently have and what is it that we need for everything that you all are talking about to make sure we have the power when we need it. It included our water and wastewater master plan. Again, it's a 5-year plan, updated every 5 years, but it also has inputs like the land use assumption from the city of Brownsville. Our water and wastewater certifications areas are different than the city of Brownsville, so we want to make sure that it's all encompassing of the land use assumption and other parts of the various areas we serve. It's 5 years, but the plan really is for a 30-year horizon, and it talks about our water availability. So one of the inputs that goes in there is our water availability strategy. So we have a publicly facing document on our 2025 water availability, another plan incorporated into here. And that plan is also publicly available on our website, and we're in the process of updating that as well. We have our water conservation and drought plan. Those are plans that we completed in '24. However, this is the state mandated plan that we have to submit with the state with approval, and so that was recently updated. It included our technology roadmap that we currently have in place, and we'll be updating that plan soon. Our general emergency plan gets updated annually, and so of course, that's another input into our strategic plan. We have our communications plan from our different communication street. You heard your marketing plan and communications, so we also have one at Brownsville PUB. And in there, we also did a customer engagement and survey to know where we were at. And this was, we engaged Great Blue Customer Survey in '25. And so we have the inputs and the feedback from the various customers that are here. Some of those that the GBIC has brought back in previous and BEDC, and those are now our key account customers that are there in the organization. We have our 2025 and 2029 capital improvement plan that is updated annually through our budget process, and that's also a publicly available document there. It talks about the various different plans that we're going to engage in the 1-year period with our budget, but also the 5-year, because most of our projects are multi-tier projects, and it includes projects for the next 5 years of the various, and our strategy for financing those projects. It includes also the plan for the Texas Water Development Board Region M. We are very fortunate to have 2 members locally that are part of that, myself and also another one of the Brownsville Public Utilities Board staff members representing the environmental region. And the Region M plan is part of the state adopted plan. And right now the state is about to adopt the new water strategy plan, which the Brownsville Public Utilities Board has all of its plans included in there. And of course, our corporate strategic plan, that was the previous plan that was engaged, and that was a horizon planning period of 2019 to 2024. So it wasn't just a plan that I could said that this is the only thing. There's a lot of backup information, a lot of additional plans that are part of the strategic plan, when they get updated, how they update, and if something new happens, then it triggers for those plans to be updated. It wasn't just a top-down approach, it was really a community effort. Our community, which we are all a part of, in addition to our management and of course, our city leaders as well. So we're preparing for PUB for tomorrow, and we want to make sure we have a clear direction. We want to make sure we have a measurable progress and we have accountability. We have 10 strategic focus areas that I'll discuss in a subsequent slide with 16 measurable KPIs. The 10 strategic focus areas in the plan that I gave you in details, they start on page 18, and also on page 40, that's where we have our KPIs. And for those of you who are not familiar, is the key performing indicators. And we're also going to be reporting this as well with the members of the community, our board, and our PubCap and our commission to say where we're at, where we're going, and where our progress is at. The desired outcomes are 4, and they're very simple. We want affordability, workforce stability, customer satisfaction, and resiliency and reliability. And I'll talk about those in the next slide. And of course, this is a 5-year roadmap I've stated, just enforcing. These are the clear directions that we have for the next 5 years. With that, we had a new vision and mission statement, and that is empowering Brownsville's future through exceptional utility services, community leadership, and operational excellence. That is our vision that we currently have adopted by our board. Our mission is to deliver safe, reliable, and affordable utility services that empower our community, champion growth, and are guided by operational excellence, financial strength, transparency, and strong leadership. I mean, it's really, think about that, what it says: operational excellence, financial strength, transparency, and strong leadership. We want to make sure that we focus on the things that are important to the community. This was something that our community resonated, and that's how the vision and mission statements is the top indicators that by the various different focus groups that we had and what it was that we included within our mission and vision statements. So these are the strategic focus areas and some of the key performing indicators. I started out that, with affordability. So I'm going to talk about the desired outcome number 1 of the strategic plan. Where is it where we're going? The outcome is that we're going to maintain rates that are fair, transparent, and financially sustainable for all customer classes. When we say all customer classes, we mean from the residential to the industrial to the large users to those that have a high strategic impact in our community. The desired outcome number 2 I mentioned was our workforce stability. We're all facing workforce challenges in our area. We have a lot of demand in our workforce. We are losing employees to other, locating industries that are here, and that's great. They see talent, and so at that time, we want to attract, develop, retain talent by fostering a motivated, high-performing, and resilient workforce. And so that's one of the reasons of the desired outcome that we're focusing on workforce stability. The third outcome is to improve customer sentiment by enhancing the customer experience and promoting the value of municipal utility. That is really our customer satisfaction. And that's why we started with doing an assessment and doing a survey at the commercial and residential level to where we were at. And we hope that when we re-engage that, we move the needle into the various different customer satisfaction. And the fourth desired outcome is enhanced resiliency and reliability for electric, water, and wastewater utility services. We all want our services to be there when they need to be there. We want the lights to turn on, we want the water to go down the drain, and for it to be treated. And that is really what it is, that resiliency and reliability that I'm mentioning here. So with that and these desired outcomes, that's why we have our 10 strategic focus areas. And each one of those strategic focus areas, I'm not going to go through all of them, you can read them on there, and there are more details into the book. They all have strategies behind them, and those strategies are intended to help us move the needle to the desired outcomes of where we're trying to have. The statements of the strategic direction and the challenges and initiatives are really something that we're focused on to ensure, and that's what we're going to be reporting quarterly, what we're doing it. We're going to be reporting on the various different key performing indicators that are already in the plan. We want to make sure that everybody is aware that this is aligned with the city's vision. And these are the pillars of the city's vision, and how does our plan then align with that? And so with that, you have the economic development, affordable power, and power supply optimization. That's how it's aligning with the city. We have a planning and zoning. We're optimizing our water supply. Infrastructure, resiliency, reliability, technology, modernization. That's one of ours that we have in there. The quality of life is customer experience and community engagement. Governance, that's the risk management and an inter-organizational effectiveness. And by inter-organizational is having here providing to the various different community partners. And of course, our public safety is that resiliency and reliability. We want to make sure that our systems are there. So with that, I just want to make sure that you keep up with our website at SB2030, Brownsville-PB.com. The complete plan is there. The key KPIs are there, the roadmap, and everything is publicly available there. We have quarterly tracking performing reports that we plan to have a dashboard on our website that are public facing, and we're going to have regular updates. If you all want us to come and present again, we'll be happy to come back whenever you so invite us to come back, either quarterly, yearly, biannually, whatever it is that you so desire on there. And keep in mind that whenever we want to be a key partner to keep you in mind, we realize that with all of your initiatives, you have to make sure that the power is there, the water is there, and so is the wastewater treatment facilities in the various different areas that we serve. And with that, I'll be happy to answer questions. And if it's something competitive in nature, I heard that there's a closed session item, and I'll kindly punt to that closed session item.
Thank you, Marilyn. Any questions from the board?
I don't have a question. I just want to make a comment that this is the first step to making sure that we are aligned and working together with all of the great things that are happening in Bronzeville. So I'm super excited that we share kind of the same vision or mission, that we owe that to our community. So Thank you for being here today, and I hope that it's not the first, like you said, often, so that we can share where we're at and what the needs are, so we can continue to grow. Thank you.
And thank you so much for also inviting me for your strategic planning. I was able to participate with some of your board members there yesterday and provided a little bit of feedback. And it's really exciting times to be here in Brownsville.
I do have one question.
Sure.
You had indicated that your desired outcome number 2 to attract, develop, and retain talent by fostering a motivated, high-performing, and a resilient workforce. Do you offer your employees educational opportunities?
Thank you for answering that question. So this is an area that I have been focused since the last 3 years that I took on this role a lot. When I first started with the organization, there was a high turnover rate, but not so much. There was a lot of retirements. Everybody knew the baby boomer challenge was coming. In the last 5 years, we have had about 40% turnaround in the workforce. What does that mean? 40% is new employees that we need to provide training. So with that in mind, we updated our policies. And so we're also going to be rewarding for performance. So in other words, if somebody is in part of our educational opportunities, if they get an A, they get a certain percentage payback. They get a B, they get a certain percentage payback. And if they get a C, they get a certain percentage payback. So the intent is also to opening up to other qualifying employees, not wait until they actually pass probation, but typically pay them until after the semester, but yet put them into the program. Chances are, within the 6-month period, if they pass probation, then they will be reimbursed for those educational opportunities there. So we have not only internal educational leadership opportunities, we pay for various external opportunities at the various local utilities, local universities and also colleges. We have partnerships for apprenticeships also, which is our lineman worker certification programs. And we have a very active training, internal training program for safety. So with that, I'll be happy to share our plans and our initiatives, the changes that we've made in training opportunities. And that's one of the reasons why I am happy to report that we had double digits in open vacancies, and we have significantly reduced, and we're now in the single digits in vacancies. So what does that mean? That we have filled the roles and those open and vacancies, and we have reported to the board various things. So I'll be happy to share with you our HR recruitment efforts, the changes that we have made, and policy changes that have helped us retain. A lot of this is by fostering talent and motivated, high-performing workforce. They all want to be working in a community that they're being recognized. So we have a very active recognition program. And with that, we have Mr. Mares. He actually leads the employee recognition program. When I came back, our employees had not been rewarded in that active recognition program. And so we went back and said, we're not going to forget the past 3 years of COVID. We're going to remember and actually have the Employee of the Year award, have it for the past 3 years, and start bringing everybody those significant milestones. We started also as our engineers started getting their professional engineering exam. We started promoting for them as well. When I came on board, we had lost and we were about to lose all of our transmission engineers on the electrical division. They are now fully staffed. A lot of them have passed their PEs, professional engineering exams, and this is the first time on the water side that we have everybody passing through the program. So we're very excited with the directors and under their leadership, what they have accomplished, and us providing that support for them to be able to get the education, continuing education, to meet those professional licenses.
It sounds like it's an excellent initiative. Now, do you restrict a degree plan? In other words, like if I was your employee and I wanted to major in underwater basket weaving.
Everything has to be related to the utility, of course, within reason, right? If it's an engineer who maybe is a technician in our GIS department and they want to move, we will support that initiative to go and get themselves become an engineer. But it has to be something related in business as well. We also have a financial department. And so if they want to go into the accounting fields or others, or even in external auditing, internal auditing, various other roles that are within our organization, a lot of people don't realize we really follow a lot of various different, from HR to billing systems to accounting, marketing. We cover a gamut of various different, industries within the organization of our 650 employees.
Again, like I said, excellent, excellent initiative.
Thank you.
And the accountants are very special too in that organization.
Yes.
Any other questions from the board? Marla, thank you so much for being with us and presenting your strategic plan. Thank you for being with us yesterday as well. As some of you may or may not know, we too are working on our strategic plan, and we quickly realized that we need to reach out to our community partners, build those relationships, because we're all in it to win it, right? And the better we all work together, the smoother everything goes. Mr. Chairman, thank you so much for being with us as well, and you have a great team, and keep doing what you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chairman, this was an action item. We can take no action or just accept the presentation.
No action.
Yes. No action taken.
No action.
Next item, closed session pursuant to the Texas Government Code, Section 551.071, 551.074, 551.072, and 551.087. 7.1, Brownsville PUB Electrical Water Sewer Services for the Greater Brownsville Tech District Park. 7.2, Top Projects Update. 7.3, Project Industrial. 7.4, Project PLR. 7.5, Project Vector. 7.6, Project Biz Jet. 7.7, Project Hercules, and 7.8, Project Update on Economic Developments.
May I have a motion to go into executive session?
I make a motion to
Have a
go into
second?
executive.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. We are in executive session. Time is 4:38. We are back. Can I have a motion to convene into open session?
Motion?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. We are in open session. The time is 5:51.
Next item, consideration and action, if any, included but not limited to the adoption of the board resolutions related to the items discussed in executive session. 7.1, Brownsville PUB Electrical Water and Sewer Services for the Greater Brownsville Tech District Park. 7.2, Top Projects Update. 7.3, Project Industrial. 7.4, Project PLR. 7.5, Project Vector. 7.6, Project BizJet. 7.7, Project Hercules, and 7.8, Projects Updates on Economic Development.
Can I have a motion for no action on 8.1, Brownsville PUB, 8.2, top projects up? Oh, we're on agenda item 8. We're on agenda item 8.
Oh,
That's correct.
Sorry.
It's 8. Yes.
8.1.
8.3,
One.
Project Industrial, 8.4, Project PLR, 8.5, Project Vector, 8.6, Project BizJet, 8.7, Project Hercules, and 8.8, Update on Economic Development Projects. Can I have a motion for no action on all of the items?
Motion?
Now a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. There being no further business, can I have a motion to adjourn? Have a
Second.
motion first and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you so much.